This
Say,
conference will now be recorded.
Here, or you just gonna
People who
leave?
are not here not getting any credit. That's one thing I'm saying.
what do you mean? I'm here. I'm talking to you.
I didn't say, is
I'm
everybody on
here
your
too,
team?
Mr. Boyd.
Nah, just let it
Is
Well,
go.
that's
everybody
not
on?
my issue. I'm here, and
Yeah,
that's
don't
all that
do
matters.
nothing.
I'm in class too. I'm on team 3.
Yeah.
But tell me about journal entry 3 then. You're on team 3.
Uh, we debited 608,000 and credited 608,000. We got that because we multiplied 152,000 times 4.
What's 4? You This team didn't list you up here. I'm looking
Roger
at.
Coffee.
Okay, coffee is here. Okay, go ahead again. I'll look at this. Somebody else.
We
How'd you
had
get that?
debited. We just multiplied 152,000 times 4.
Why'd you do that?
Uh, that was a entry, or that's what I did because that's what the thing said to do.
What does the 608 represent?
Uh, that's the work in progress for, or actually I'm sorry, is that the manufacturer overhead or POR? My bad, POR.
You hurry up and load it.
Karina, what does the 608 represent?
See, he's asking more than one person right now, so I hope they wake up.
Isn't it the POR?
Yeah, what does 608,000 represent? Where did you post that to?
The ledger.
Where in the ledger?
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's right.
You don't
Okay,
remember, but
wait.
where did you post that 608 to?
608.
I say I'm gonna have y'all working on
Work in
spring break.
progress.
To the
Y'all,
MOH.
Work in progress.
well, most postings require debit and a credit. Most of them. So what did you debit on your posting?
We had debited work in process.
What did you
And
credit?
huh?
What did you credit?
And credit manufacturing overhead. Was that what you're asking this whole time?
That's what I was asking.
Oh, okay.
I said both. Never mind.
I'm being
You got it.
sneaky, but okay.
So what does this account represent? What does the 608 represent? So that was the other question.
Is it POR?
Now, it is this 608. Does everybody see the 608? This represents the estimated overhead.
Hmm.
So early in the process, we got to go and get the overhead in. And so when we made this journal entry, we didn't know what the costs were. And so we have a POR that we calculated and we multiply that times the labor hours to give us the estimate because we need these numbers prior to all the costs coming in. Okay.
I feel like I said that the manufacturer overhead.
So what did you say? Well, tell me what you said then.
No, when you had asked me, I had corrected myself and said manufacturing overhead. But
But then I asked, what did that represent?
oh,
And what
okay.
I was looking for was it is the estimate of the overhead that is going to be incurred for the year. That as we talk
Oh,
about how it was calculated, then my
right.
question was, what does this number represent? It represents your estimate of the overhead. Okay?
Oh, okay. Right, I get what you're saying.
Because that's going to impact journal entries down the road.
Right. Okay.
So we on what, to team 4 now? Who submitted for team 4? How much is this problem worth again? How much did I say this problem was worth again?
It's worth 10 points.
It's worth what?
10 points.
All right, it's worth 10 points. Let's see here. Okay, anybody submitted for team 4? I see the submission. Anybody from team 4 here?
Yes, sir, I'm here. Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay, Mr. Good is here to hold the banner
Yes,
for
sir.
team 4. So what were y'all doing uh on team 4? What were you all doing?
Hold on, I'm going. No, I got the emphasis. No, no.
So you were making one journal entry, correct?
Yes, sir.
And what journal entry was that?
Okay. Okay, so for my journal entry, I had it says completed. I don't know why it's not. Okay, so it says completed 40,000 books. And then it says record transfer 40,000 units to finished food and raw material. Transfer for 40,000 books and only 100% of labor and manufacturing overhead transferred finished goods. And then it says determine actual unit costs. And then let's see. That's me. Okay, so you want the um,
How much
so
cost?
basically what I sir.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so basically what you do is you basically since it's 40,000 you multiply let's see. Okay, so basically okay, so if it's because I don't want to say the wrong thing here because like it's okay.
So you had $3,128 in the account, correct? So that's what the prior team put in the working
Yes,
process.
sir. Right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And that related to how many books were supposed to be produced.
50,000.
So 50,000 books were supposed to be produced. How many were actually produced?
40,000.
Okay. Let me just see. So 50,000 books were supposed to be made. Ever only 40,000 were made.
Right.
So if only 40,000 were made, then we don't transfer out all the costs. We're going to transfer out costs related only to 40,000. Okay?
Yes,
So
sir.
go back and tell me what you did again. I'm gonna so the total you're transferring out is
Okay, so basically, since you have 100% of labor and I don't know how to pronounce it's the let's see.
so I'm putting
Okay,
over
so
here
from state. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, sir.
everything we're putting over here, we're transferring out. We're transferring out what? All of the labor. The
Yes, sir.
overhead, we're doing what? The same thing. Because
So
no matter
with
how many books you have produced, these costs have been incurred. But for the
yes,
raw
sir.
materials, if you don't produce the books, the raw materials stay there. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So
See.
to make
Yeah.
a command performance, tell me what number is gonna be here and how you get it. What number? How much?
So
See,
you end up adding.
well, wait a minute. Don't add. We're not gonna add yet. We're
Okay.
transferring out all of the labor, all of the manufacturing overhead. How much of the raw
Okay.
materials are we gonna transfer out?
We're gonna transfer out the not the
800,000.
yeah yeah
Why
800,000
800,000? Miss
because you
Oprah?
have the
How do we get 800,000?
by the 40,000 times the 40,000 times the 200.
No, 1 million divided by 50,000, then into 40,000. So we get 800,000.
So what she's saying here is that when we get to the
Yes,
raw
sir.
materials, we're only going to transfer out a percentage.
Yeah.
40 is going to be in the numerator, 50 in the denominator. So that is what 80%. So when
Yes,
we
sir.
transfer out all the labor and overhead, but only 80% of the raw materials. So we
Hmm.
take 80% of a million. That's how, a number of ways we can do it. But we take 80% of that and we get how much?
800,000.
No,
Yes.
80% of a million.
Oh, 80%. Oh, 80% of that would be and then that's where you get the total, correct? Of
I just want 80% of the raw materials. You explaining how you had your number.
this so so if it's 80% of that, that would be the
Can you help out, Kamala?
I'm sorry, this is
It's
confusing.
all right. Okay, this is a hard one, so I'm not. Kamala?
Personally, I'm on the phone. I cannot like talk to him directly.
Mhm.
Well, tell me what. Just tell me then. Just talk to me. Tell me.
Okay.
So we should take 80% of a million. Bottom line, we get 800,000. Okay, so that's what you do. And so now when we determine how much is going to transfer out, We transferring out 2,928.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what's happening with your formula here. But it should be how much left in here? 200,000. So this is one of the more difficult journal entries in terms of, there's only one journal entry in this stage as we transfer from work in process to finished goods. There's only one journal entry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does everybody understand that journal entry? Because you're going to miss a whole lot more on the problem if you can't understand that journal entry. So does everybody understand that journal
Can
entry
you
now?
explain it like one more time?
No, I don't think I understand it. I probably need to go back and watch what you did because what all three of y'all talking, it was confusing me.
All right, I'll go back over it again. Just a second. Let me see if I can.
Hello? What did you say?
Okay. We're supposed to make 50,000 books. We transferred in 1,000,000 in raw materials, 1,520,000 in labor was paid for. We estimated 608 in overhead. So the total cost in here is 3,128,000. Does everybody see that? That was for 50,000 books. We only made how many books?
40,000.
The 40,000 books.
Correct. So we're not going to transfer out all of the 3,128,000 because we didn't make all the books. We are going to transfer out all of the direct labor and all of the manufacturing overhead, but the ink is still going to be here. The workers have been paid and they've gone on spring break and spent their money. When they come back, they want to be paid again to finish up the other 10,000. So this cost is gone and this cost is gone. But that ink is still going to be there for those 10,000 books. So what we do is we just get a percentage. We're supposed to make 50,000. We make 40,000. So that percentage is 80%. Does everybody see how we got 80%? We simply, why did you do that? Let me clear the contents. See if I can put 80% in here again. For some reason it won't let the 80% stay in there. See if I can put the 80% here. It'll let the 80% stay here.
So the 80% is coming from what again? The 50,000 and the 40,000?
40,000 divided by 50,000.
Oh,
That's a
okay,
good
so
question.
40,000 divided. Okay, got you.
That was a good question. How do we get 80%? We look at the total completed versus how many we're supposed to make. We get 80%. And so we only transferring out 80% of the cost. Does everybody see that? It could be 80, it could be 90, it could be 75, whatever your percentage is. So once again, when we get ready to make this transfer to finished goods, which is one of our more difficult journal entries to comprehend, and once again, you got to make a calculation. In your calculation, all of the labor and all of the overhead, we're going to transfer it out. That's why it's on the credit side. And then for raw materials, since those raw materials will remain there, the ink and paper will remain there, we only transfer out 80% of that. We add them together, we get 2928, and of course we credit work in process and we debit finished goods. So let's go back to the journal entry. So this is this journal entry that we're talking about. And I just work, it's probably better to get a little better understanding to working in the T accounts. Are there any questions?
I have one quick question.
Okay.
So I know the numbers in the T accounts came from stage two journal entries. So I know how they said they got the 1,520,000 because they timed that times $10. But how did they get the 1 million for the ink?
Okay, so if you look at the problem, it tells you that 100,000 ink cartridges. That is, when we buy the ink cartridges, we buy more than we need because some may get broken, some may get spilled, or whatever, and we don't want production to stop. So let's just go back to our T accounts. So we buy 1,100,000, but you don't ever, when you manufacture and buy what you need, you buy more. Okay, so and then we go ahead and transfer out. And see, what was it? 110,000 was the quantity that we bought. Was that the amount in that journal entry? How many ink cartridges did we?
Yeah, it was 110,000 at $10.
So we bought 110,000. Okay. But we only transferring out 100,000. When you manufacturing, you don't, you got workers ready to work and everything. You do not want to run out of your raw material because the workers can't work. And your manufacturing overhead is still going on. So if you need 100,000, you're gonna buy more. Okay. So we bought 110,000 at 10. We transferring out now. We don't just send them over there yet. We keep 10,000 in the warehouse, but the other 100,000 we transfer to the production floor. So you see how we're moving across. We buy the raw materials, then we transfer some of those raw materials to work in process. Does that answer how we got to 100,000?
Kinda. I'm gonna just go back and look at the recording.
You buy raw materials. You buy the raw materials to make the item. When you get ready to make it, you transfer out an appropriate amount, 100,000, so you can make it. Okay, so look at that. Okay, finished goods. Who has the next one?
I turned it in. Nadia Joseph.
Okay, so what did you do, Nadia?
We recorded the sales for 30 books and
Okay, so these are the journal entries you made. So once again, this is a hard part because it's new and different. You know, the first two stages are easy. 3 and 4 involve a little bit more thought and preparation. So the first thing you did, you sold how many books?
30,000
Okay.
and multiplied it by the selling price.
So what we're trying to do now is to look at stage 4. And the first thing they did, they sold 30,000 items. Where did this 204 come from?
That's the selling price from the job order costing sheet.
So what's going to happen with this journal entry if your selling price is wrong? I'm just saying, if you don't calculate the selling price right, what's going to happen?
Oh, it'll off the sales will be off.
And let's go up here. Suppose you don't calculate the POR correct. Just think about it. Okay. The next thing we need to do is to, whenever we make a journal entry on a sale, we also got to take information out of cost of goods sold. Let's go back to our T accounts for a second. They're all small here. So we're in finished goods. Well, I'll work down here. So I was trying to get up here. Let me see if I can insert a row. And it always jumps up ahead to this blue thing. Insert. Okay, so we're there now. That's funny. So the first thing you want to do is come over here and say, how many did you transfer over here? How many were
30
okay? So we
30
transferred 30,000 over. How many did we sell? How many did we sell?
30,000.
Did you sell them all, Mayberry?
Is my mic on? Hello? Hello?
Hello,
You know?
hello. How many did you
What's good,
sell?
Mr. Boy? How
How
many
many
did
did
I sell? I sold, let me see, let me check my little chart for you one time. I sold a total of
well, just look at the journal entry and see how many did you sell?
30,000. No, no,
So
no. Wait a minute.
okay, you sold 30,000. Okay, that's
Yeah,
correct.
30,000.
How many did you make? So this should be 40,000. That's right. 40,000 was transferred in. And You sold 30,000. Okay. What we now need is a unit cost. Now, what was the unit cost that we estimated to make these items?
73.2.
Now, I asked you how many did we estimate team one all the way back in the beginning? What did we estimate the unit cost is going to be?
Oh,
68.
204.
Wasn't it 68?
68.
Okay. So they estimate, but see, we don't use that. We got to go with the actual unit cost now. So we do get it to get the selling price and all that. We said it, but now we need the actual unit cost. So how are we going to come up with this actual unit cost here? You
It's 2,900,000 divided by 40,000.
okay? So that's correct. We're going to take the 2,928,000 and now divide it by the 40. So our actual unit cost is what?
73.2.
73.2. The reason I'm working here is that I don't want you to look and use that estimated cost. You gotta use the actual cost. So you come to this T account and figure this out. You look at how much is transferred in, and then once you determine how much is transferred in, you divide it by the quantity, because we didn't make 50,000. Remember, we were over here planning to make 50,000, and we only made 40,000. We didn't transfer all the cost out because we only made some of the goods. Are there any questions? 73. So what you gonna do with the 73.2?
You multiply that by 30,000.
Okay, so we're gonna multiply 30 times 1,000 times 73.2, and we get what?
2,196,000.
So we debiting what?
Cost of goods sold.
And what are we crediting?
Finished goods.
Did you post those?
Um,
So,
yeah, I think they're in the T accounts.
so your 2196 is a credit to finished goods, and it's a debit to cost of goods now. So everybody see that? So that's why you got to make these journal entries, and then you got to post them. Everybody see how we got to 7320. So any question on that? Okay, so those were our hard two journal entries. So we got another little one to make, right? We were talking about this manufacturing overhead, and when the actual manufacturing overhead came in, we debit the manufacturing overhead for 610, credit accumulated depreciation, credit in cash. So the actual manufacturing overhead came in at what? 610. See that? But we estimated it to be what? 608. So what are we going to do? The final journal entry in this stage is to close out the MOH. The MOH got to be 0. And so we're going to debit cost of goods sold and credit MOH, which is what they did. So at the end of the day, this number's MOH got to go to 0. And so we under apply. And so we go and we make this journal entry debiting cost of goods sold and crediting manufacturing overhead. We have to estimate this because we got to make statements and make estimates and get a selling price ahead of time. So when these costs come in, we just go and adjust it here. Any questions?
So in that case, Mr. Boyd, so if you underapply, you credit MOH, but if you overapply, you debit it. So it'll be on the other side, right?
Yes. You see here, you see how this is set up here in the journal entries? If you overapply, you do this one. If you unapply, so you do one or the other. Got it?
Got it.
And if you go to the T accounts, after your journal entry is made, MOH got to be zero. So
Always?
always.
Okay.
So if it's not
Can
zero
you
in that
explain
T
it
account,
again?
say what? If it's not zero in that T account, then you didn't choose the right one.
Can you explain that over apply and under apply part again?
Okay. That's why we were talking about this. We estimated the overhead was going to be 608,000. Okay, we estimated it. It actually turned out to be 610. So we underapplied. We did not estimate enough. So that means cost of goods sold didn't have enough cost in it. Work in process didn't have enough. Cost of goods sold didn't have enough. And we will simply then, and there are other ways we can do it, but we're just going to put this underapplied amount. Remember, it was 608 in work in process. Then these costs went to finished goods. Then these costs came to cost of goods sold. It should have been 610. So we just get the $2,000, and there are other things we could do, but we will simply say we didn't with 2,000 low in what the cost should be, and so we're going to debit cost of goods sold and credit MOH. If we had estimated 615, and we had the 610, so this is how our estimates look. In that case, you put too much in here. It should have been only 610, but you had 615. You would have had 615 right here. So you got too much money in there. And so you're going to be at that second scenario with journal entries, in that second scenario where you debit manufacturing overhead and credit cost of goods sold. So you got to make a decision. Is either you over applied, so you're going to debit manufacturing overhead and credit cost of goods sold. I'll just put an O there. You over applied. Or you under applied. You didn't have enough. So you can update your spreadsheet to have an O and a U there, over and under. But at the end of the day, you get these T accounts. Once you make whatever one you choose, it's got to be zero. Okay, so that should be our last hard journal entry, correct? Stage 5, talk to me quickly. What team is that?
Stage 5, team 7. So there was a selling expense of 20% of sales. Sales from the previous stage was 6,120,000. So we have to take 20% out of that number, and we get 1,224,000.
You can see if your sales number is off. then this entry is going to be wrong. Then what about the other two quickly?
We have a journal entry for administrative expense, and that's a debit for 1 million, and the credit is cash for 1 million.
Okay. What's the final one?
The final one would be dividends and cash. You would debit dividends for 50,000 and credit cash for 50,000.
So we go ahead and post those. Uh, so we're about ready to do a trial balance now. Is this trial balance correct? Don't have my accounts in order. I'll take off for that. Do not, I can't look at it straight. Do not have my accounts in order. Well, it's bad. Let's go to cost of goods manufactured. What team had cost of goods manufactured?
You taking points off
Teammate.
because they're not in order?
Yeah,
Because mine is not in order either. I'm
so
gonna
I'm
tell
gonna
you
take
that
out
right now.
points then.
Yeah,
Uh,
because I wasn't looking at that because this thing was already filled out, so I thought you had already put them in order. My bad.
what team? What team is next? What team is up?
Team 8.
Who
And
submitted for
team two.
Who submitted for team eight?
Michaela Richardson.
Michaela Richardson. Thank you, Michaela. Okay. So, Michaela, did you get this cost of goods manufacturing statement done okay for me? Did you do it right?
I tried, Miss Boyd. I did try.
Tried. What do you mean you tried?
I tried.
What's your observations about this statement?
Well, I basically got all of my like the raw materials and stuff. I just got mine from the journal entries from stage 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
When you look at, so hopefully everybody can see this, you see this work in process account and this cost of goods manufactured. What do you note? What do you note? Valenciana, since you didn't work hard last time, the team helped you. Tell me what you see, Valenciana.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Do you see a relationship between the work in process account and this cost of goods manufactured?
Mm, yeah.
What do you see?
The The ending working process will equal 200,000.
Yes. But one thing that you should see, which I'm, uh, is your answer here. Put it in red. Your answer on cost of goods manufacturing is always this number you transfer it out. So whatever you transfer to finished goods, that's cost your goods manufactured. So 2928 is the answer. So you got the answer now. You see that, Brooke?
Yeah, I see that, but I'm confused. I got a question.
We ain't gotten there yet. I'm just all I
Oh,
want people to be clear is what the answer is. You look
yeah,
like
I see the answer that we transferred out from what we did before.
that's cost goods man. So I just want everybody to see that. The answer is always, you made this journal entry transferring out 2928. When you get ready to do a cost of goods manufacturer statement, the answer has to be 2928. We're gonna go up here and do raw materials first. We bought 1100, blah blah blah. Uh, okay, we didn't have anything here. You did get the right answer, but we didn't have any beginning. And we purchased how much? 1,000,000.
We purchased 1,100,000,
Okay. And what was the ending raw materials inventory?
200,000.
Now, raw materials.
Oh no, raw material.
Raw materials was
That was
what?
the 100,000. The
Right.
100,000. Yeah.
So we need 100,000 here. Just keep looking. So the raw materials used in production, 1,100,000 minus 100 is what? 1,000,000. Look at the T account. What do you see in the T account? What's the first thing you see in that T account for work in process?
A billion.
All right. So you should be looking. What's the second thing we see here in the T account? 1,520,000. What's the third thing you see in the T account?
6,000. I mean, 600,008. So they all come from the T accounts from work in progress. It just goes down.
So I'm giving you an easier way. Somebody said they did journal entries to prepare the statement. I'm telling you, go to the T account because everybody see that. So rather than running through a bunch of journal entries, you can run through this T account plus the raw materials T account and prepare the statement in no time flat. So we added these items, the million, the 1.5, whatever. We auto sum those, we get what? Wait a minute, total manufacturing costs. Let me auto sum here. Let me try to, I'm gonna clear the contents for just a second. Okay, so when we auto sum these, our total manufacturing costs is 3,128,000. Do you see that number over here somewhere? That's 3,128,000. So all we simply had to do was to go to this account and we got everything. We didn't have any beginning working process in this problem, but we had an ending working process. of how much? So the cost of goods manufactured is always the two. See that, Lathan? So everybody, you see that? Alexia laughing up there. Okay. So, so you can, so, so you're seeing now. So you see the statement now. So now you know how to get the statement done. So when you do the statement, copy your work in process T account, put it by this, and do the statement. Got it? Everybody see that? Copy your T account for work in process, put it here, and make sure it looks, your cost of goods manufactured look just like this T account. All right, what about cost of goods sold? Who had cost of goods sold?
That was team 9.
Was that team 9?
Yeah.
Yeah. So team 9, how are we gonna get this statement done?
Um, I think that was like the pretty easiest statement out of this thing. So we're just gonna, we don't have any finished goods inventory beginning, and so we took our cost of good manufactured, and you just put it in to where it says add. Then we went to our finished cost of good inventory to our T
Oh, this is
account.
not yours here, is it? Okay. Okay. I'm thinking this is yours.
Oh
Okay,
no.
so this is 0. So I gave you one that's too easy. We didn't have any beginning finished goods inventory. You may have one later. Add cost of goods manufactured. All you do is you get this number here and put it right here. Got it? You get the number that's here and you put it right here.
I have a question.
Yes.
I was just wondering because the finished goods inventory, because that kind of confused me too. I was trying to see like, because when we did the T account, we had a balance for the finished good inventory, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Let's put it in
So,
here.
so we don't. That's not. That isn't. That wouldn't be on the finished goods inventory beginning on the cost of goods sold statement, right?
No, because it was 0 at the beginning. It's
Okay.
730.
Okay. 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 I got you.
So it was 0 at the beginning. It's 732 at the end.
Got you. Okay.
So
That's all.
keep. So go back and explain, Brooke.
Um, which part you want me to explain?
Start again. Start
Okay,
over.
so we had no finished goods inventory beginning. So I just put nothing. And then we have our cost of goods manufactured from up top. You just take the number that you got and put it in. And
Okay.
then you have finished goods inventory ending balance, and you get that from your T account for whatever ending balance you got in the red part. And then you subtract your cost of goods manufactured minus your um, finished goods inventory, and you're gonna get your unadjusted cost of goods sold.
So notice that this is the unadjusted cost of goods sold. So sometimes you'll be asked what is the unadjusted cost of goods sold. Tell us about adjusting, Brooke.
The what do you mean like adjusting? Like the
So what is you, next thing you did?
oh, the next thing I did is I looked at my MOH and we saw that it was under applied by 2,000. So you have to add that because if it was over applied, then you would have subtract. but since it was underapplied, you add your unadjusted cost of goods sold plus your um underapplied MOH of 2000 and you get your adjusted cost of goods sold.
So, Brooke, what do you see then as you see this statement and the cost of goods sold T account?
Where
Which should be
oh,
Are you
that
pretty
saying
the
that
obvious.
is the same as the
the
cost of
cost of
goods
goods
sold on a
sold
T account?
is,
Mm.
yeah, the cost of goods sold in our T account is the same as our cost of goods sold, that our adjusted cost of goods sold.
Yeah. So I'm giving you some linkages so you can know if these two statements are correct. Cost of goods manufactured is tied to the working process. Your answer always has to be what you transferred to finished goods. Then for the cost of goods sold statement, whatever's the bottom line here has to come here. And of course, you started with beginning finished goods plus what you made during the period. Are there any questions?
So mostly all our numbers are coming from just from our T accounts. I mean, other numbers come from like the beginning balance of like our like raw materials and stuff, but most of these numbers are just coming from T accounts.
Correct. So I'm saying rather than look at journal entries, look at T accounts.
Okay.
Got it? Rather than
Yeah.
look at journal entries, look at T accounts. Okay. By 12 o'clock tomorrow, it'll be 12 at night. I want resubmissions with everything correct. So you know what you submitted today. I want a resubmission with everything correct. If you don't have it, I'm not going to do any more on this. You should be able to do an income statement. So each team is to do their resubmission and get it to me correct. Is that clear?
Yeah, but let me ask a question. So how did you grade it? Like, did you grade it on just our part?
Well, it's a class thing, so I graded on what you did and what the class did.
Mm.
You know, the whole team's got the win, Johnson. What happened to the Texas? Everybody didn't play. But anyway, Johnson. Okay, let's talk about when we come back from spring break. And I went to that classroom, the computer not working. I took my laptop. It wouldn't take my laptop. It does. I don't know. I was hoping we'll get back. We'll see. But when we get back and after spring break, you'll have your midterm. So you'll have your midterm when we get back after spring break. Okay. So Alexia, prayers were answered. Okay. I'll review these submissions and then I'll decide on how I'm gonna do the midterm. Whether I'm going to do it individually or whether I'm going to do it with the team. I had not finally decided yet, but I got to look at the submissions. I got to check my attendance and see who was here today and who wasn't here. But you will get an email on Monday. You'll get, no, it'll be an assignments on Monday, what we're doing. I guess Tuesday. I'll let you know. I'll give you an announcement on Monday what I've decided for the midterm. It may be individual, it may be team, depending on what I see. So what does the class want? Let me see what the class wants for their midterm.
I say team.
A team.
Nobody else said anything, so individual wins, I guess.
Team.
No,
Don't you people
team.
spoil.
Team
I guess
midterm.
we could go teams.
Well, you know,
Listen, I'm not
teens.
worried about that. I'm worried about my work being right. So I just need you to post this video on YouTube because I need some extra practice, whether it be teams or not, because I'm just trying to get
I
an F.
second that.
So this is
So
gonna be the
I second that.
midterm. It's gonna be like this.
I just need this video posted. I want to make sure everything right. I feel about my great Dr. Boyd.
When you want to post it.
So is the
ASAP,
midterm gonna be like
whenever
this?
you can. Just whenever
Today,
you can.
preferably.
Whenever you can,
Today,
okay?
preferably.
Just as long as it's before our midterm.
I will try to get it up today, and then I'll check to see how many people utilize. Bunch of folks talked to me about that last class period. I put them all up, then they tell me how many people looked at it. They give me my counts. But I'll get them up, Brooke. I'll get them up. Okay, so your midterm is on that Tuesday, and I will look at this, see how you're doing, see how you're coming. I'll look at the original submissions, then I'll look at the resubmissions. So either every team will have a different one, or every individual will have a different one.
I'm saying so the midterm basically we're gonna be doing all this by ourselves. That's a little crazy, don't you think, Mr. Boyd? That's a lot.
You think so?
I really think so because this was already hard enough because everyone didn't do right.
Everybody didn't do right?
No.
It
Everybody
was
didn't.
journal entry 3 and 4 that messed me up. I had to go ask people to help me because journal entry 3 and 4, I was just looking at my book for like 2 hours.
Okay. So, okay, so I'll go through and look at your resubmissions and see how you're doing. And Ms. Johnson, from a time standpoint, uh, there'll be ample time. It'll be at least 6 hours that you have to get it done. Got it?
Okay.
Okay.
Professor, I have a question.
Yes.
So the only thing that I messed up during this assignment is my order of trial balance. Do you still
Mm-hmm.
want me to resubmit it?
You had everything else right?
Yeah, everything is right. My trial balance, debit, and credit matched. It's just not in order.
No, you don't. If you got everything else right, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
So, how's everybody feeling about this now? How much of it can you all do?
1%, the first part.
What percent the first part?
I got the with the unit cost, that's the
Well, maybe you need to work on this over spring break some.
well, you know, I'll try.
I feel like if you're gonna make homework over spring break, it needs to be optional, and if we do it, it needs to be extra credit.
Should be optional and extra
That's just my
credit.
little 5 cents.
It should be optional and extra credit. Okay. So over spring break, I will send out something optional and extra credit, and it will
But
be
it should it
individualized. And it will be individualized, so you don't have to
okay,
do.
but it
You don't.
shouldn't be super difficult because, that just crosses out the whole point of extra credit.
When you gonna change your major to business to accounting?
No, no, absolutely not.
So we'll come up with something because you got this problem. So I'll send you one to work on. I'll send you one to work on. And really, the key things are cost of goods manufacturing, cost of goods sold statement. So on the one I send you, you're simply going to the cost of goods sold statement.
I think I got that part down. I think that's like a easy part. I think it was just the journal entries that had confused me a little bit.
Okay.
But you want to put the journal entries in there. I don't know. Because if you're gonna have the journal entries on the midterm, then I'd like to see them on the practice problems so I can like practice some more on those.
Of course, a lot of time, when you practice, you put in more practice, Johnson, so you be ready for the real thing. If you over practice, you're ready for the real thing. But let me look at it and see. And I'll think of something which would include probably some check numbers. So I'll come up with something. I just have to think about how I'll do it. Uh, so to be reasonable, I just have to think about how I'm gonna do it so that you will have some practice before. I don't know. Let me think. Spring break's coming up, and I guess it's not fair to ask the teams to get together. So let me just think about it and see. I'll think about it and see. Then I'll let you know what I come up with. Since Valenciana had it right, I'll send her a take-home midterm. She'll do all by herself. Can't give her anything easy, right, Valenciana? You want a hard one by yourself?
I
She's
I can do it by myself, but I don't know about the difficulty though.
well, you did this one, so if you got this one right,
Oh, then it should be good.
you're good to go. Okay. Well, you all have a good spring break. I think it's going to be cold tomorrow, but it should be pleasant all during your spring break week. Let me just think about what I'll do. I want to do something that's fair, then I want to do something to reflect the fact that we've been back and forth and we've been online a lot. So let me think about something that will be good, fair, and modern to everyone, and we'll go from there. Okay?
Thank you for your consideration, Mr. Boyd. You have a good spring break.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Boyd.
Mr.
Thank
Boyd.
you, Boyd.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd.
All right.